we're focusing on getting better. I think, 2 wins, yeah, that's great. But, you get to Sunday when you wrap up that next one. Now we got to look at improvements. What can we improve upon that we did this Saturday? And we got to get a lot better than what we did this past Saturday to this coming Saturday against South Dakota. So for us, it never changes that you're always looking to improve, whether it's your tackling, whether it's your fundamentals, whether it's special teams, whether it's, for us, I've yet to see us be opportunistic offensively. And what I mean by opportunistic, we get a turnover at midfield, we don't score. We don't score coming out after half. There's opportunities that we got to be more opportunistic on offense. So there's a lot of work that goes into that. Same thing with defense. When we do score a touchdown, we've been stopping them and holding them to 3. But when we finally take the lead and score a touchdown, we give up a touchdown. So just trying to put offense, defense, and special teams together, that's what you need to do as you move into November. If you want to be a contender in November, you got to play that type of football. We haven't yet, and we found ways to win football games, but we went out this morning, and that was the focus, and how we can get better, how we can play relentless defense, opportunistic offense, and superior special teams.
How do you coach momentum? You've talked a lot in the past about putting Sunday or putting Saturday behind you on Sundays, but when you're on an uptick, is it harder one way or the other to forget about a loss or to forget about a win?
No, I think it's one in the same. I really do. That's my personal belief that you come off a huge win, an emotional win, to get your kids' mindset ready to go for the following week is just as difficult coming off a tough loss and getting their mindset ready to go for the next coming week. And we talk about that. We talk about that in the summertime, talk about in our team meetings. Regardless, you got to be able to put that game to bed. You got to learn from it, win or lose. Is it better learning from a win? Without question. To go in that, yes, it's a lot better. We feel a lot better on Sunday mornings, with a victory because we work hard. We put a lot of hours in. And when I say we, I'm talking about our players, our trainers, our coaches, our strength coaches work hard. And the ultimate is, what are we here for? Yeah, people want to see wins. We're going to develop young men and do all those things, but they want to see wins. But you have to understand that after every game, what do we need to learn from and how we can get better going into this week? I mean, those things I just answered. When we get a turnover at the 50 and we get a 3 and out, can't happen. When you watch great teams, okay, and I'll take the South Dakota game. It's a close game, dogfight, first half. South Dakota State scores before half, jumps up, comes out, second half kickoff, takes it, scores again. All of a sudden, it's a 14-point swing, and South Dakota's offense hasn't touched the field since it was a close game. I look at Southern Illinois, South Dakota game this past weekend. It's a 21-7 lead. Southern Illinois has 300 yards of offense in the first half. They're rolling, but what did South Dakota do? Took a deep breath. They went down, kicked a field goal, 21-10. They come out second half, opening drive down. It's a 21-17 game. You study those middle 8, last 4 minutes of half, first 4 minutes of the second half, and you can really see who those good football teams are. And if we want to be considered good, that's where we got to make our most improvement. Love the fact that our 2-minute drive. 2-minute drive at the end of half, 2-minute drive at the end of the game. That was the difference for us. We won the game because of those 2 drives. A lot of other things, but those 2 drives. So, those are the areas, the situational football that we focus on it, we emphasize, we work it every day. We have yet to execute and see that. So for me, we got a long way to go, and our kids know it, but we can do it. We can put it together. And I'm excited that when we do eventually put it together, then, we can learn to be contenders when you get to November.
Is it easier to temper emotions when you can point to this Saturday's opponent and say, hey, listen, we did something great last time, but so did they?
Yeah, no, they did. Southern Illinois had 300 yards of offense first half. They held them to 85 maybe the second half. So seeing them play, and they played, guys, when you look, they're battle tested. Kansas State, Montana, okay, Cal Poly, and then they play North Dakota State, South Dakota State back-to-back. Lose a tough one at Illinois State, which they missed a field goal in the fourth quarter. Field goal kicker comes back, has a great game against Southern Hill, and they win. So again, these kids know how to play football in this league. And, I get mad when you want to talk about records last week, Dana. I do, because when you watch film in this league, we all have the same play. We all have great players, okay? But it's the learning how to win tight games. There's so much that goes into that. And, South Dakota, again, has great players. They've been to the playoffs. They know how to win. They've had a tough schedule, had some tough losses. But now, yes, they got a huge win against a ranked team last Saturday. And, we got to now have our mindset that this is going to be another battle. Can't even think about last Saturday. We got to be ready to play 4+ quarters, 60+ minutes to earn another hard-fought Missouri Valley Football Conference game.
Outside of the result, have you seen improvement with, that philosophy of closing out games, learning how to win, being in the right position late in games to have an opportunity?
Oh, tremendous growth. You always got to look where you were to where you are now. I mean, it's head and shoulders, totally different. When we were down 10, 3 minutes to go, I saw kids supporting one another. I saw our leaders of our team going up. It's okay. We got an opportunity. And then to see our kids step on the field and execute, those post plays, we started that drive with a penalty. So we're 1st and 20, but to see us execute plays on the field and throw 2 dimes to hit 2 posts to get the ball back, to have the defense make a stop when they needed to make a stop. And, we had a mess up on our special team, and we ended up getting a 2-point play. So, sometimes, when you talk about momentum or you talk about, sometimes things happen good ways. The ball bounces your way sometimes. And when we got that 2-point conversion, I had no second thought that we were going to win that football game.
What does that kind of do for your team, Doug, when you win a game, at the time?
Well, you talk to them. I mean, we can talk, and you can put signs on your walls and slap finish, as you come down the tunnel. But what it does, it just, emphasizes that if you play hard, you play with great effort, that good things can happen. And, we've played 3 hard-fought games where 2 out of 3 of them we finished and were able to win. We didn't quite finish the North Dakota. Had the ball 40-yard line, maybe 29-yard line, and we didn't finish that drive. So to be able to just emphasize and that your kids, you see that they're going to play with that effort, they're going to play with the belief that it's a 4-quarter football game. I mean, that's the number one thing you got to. It's right here. It's the mindset. We know fundamentals. We can go coach, but what are your kids thinking is probably the most important thing you got to worry about each and every day.
Jalil leads the FCS in rushing. Just what's that kind of mean to you on the offensive line of the team?
Well, the offensive line, again, from where they've started to where they are now, again, head and shoulders. They're working in unison, working as a group, a physical group of guys that are creating, opening holes for Jalil to run. And Jalil has a lot of yards after contact too. He's special. I mean, he works hard. I mean, I got to pull back. Sometimes he's probably in the stadium running when he shouldn't be, just because that's his thought process, that I got to keep working. And he's a young man that, he's carried the ball 60 sometimes in the last 2 games. And guess what? On Sunday, who's winning the sprints? Jalil McLaughlin at Sunday's practice. There's no slowing him down, or, I'm talking 60 carries, getting hit, playing 2 physical football games, and he's out there on Sundays, like it's nothing. So when you see that, I'm a firm believer you get what your work deserves, and certainly he deserves all of it.
3rd week in a row, you're getting a team that's maybe shifting around the quarterback. Just what difference is there in preparation for 1 versus 2, and how do you stay ready for both?
You know, I don't think they're going to, they try to establish the run, 50-50, they got two great running backs. Their offensive line's massive. I don't know if you guys look, their smallest guy's probably 6'5", 335. So, they got big offensive line, two very good running backs that complement each other. They're looking for a quarterback that don't make mistakes, and, he fumbled the ball there in the second quarter. Nobody forced it, just came out of his hand. And I think the coach is probably just looking for someone that if we don't make mistakes, we're going to score points, and our defense is good enough to stop teams. So they made the change, but I don't see the difference. I thought Carson Camp is a great thrower, does a great job. And they brought in that Aiden, and he did the same thing. He was able to come in second half, almost kind of like Mitch did, and get the win. That's the hard thing. You put a new quarterback, and he got the win in the second half against a ranked team. I mean, Southern Illinois, it's a very good football team, and for him to come in and lead that charge, you got to be ready for them all.
Last thing our main anchor Dave says, that make sure you ask him about the helmets. We need to know. Are we going 3 in a row?
I wish I don't make those decisions around here. I really don't. People say I try to focus just on making sure I know what my kids are thinking, making sure they're ready for the game. I let others, pick and choose, what we put on those helmets. But I know they're on the helmets today. If that says anything, again, want to show up Saturday and see what's on those helmets. But I know the kids like it, fans like it, and so. That's a good thing, but I try not to make those decisions.